getting in a glute workout today. So Kyla's been an online client of mine for, must be almost 5 months? 4 months. 4 or 5 months. But I've never trained her in person before, so this is our first session. We're doing glutes, and I'm going to take her through a lot of different technique stuff that I can share with you guys. So hopefully you enjoy this video. This is my client Kyla, and she is my dummy with a very nice butt, and I'm going to show you guys how to make sure you're isolating your glutes when you are training. Right, so I want you to lie there completely flat, and I want you to make sure your back's relaxed, and then all I want you to do is contract this glute and lift this foot up off the floor. Straighten it, straighten the knee, sorry, and lift the whole leg. Yep. So only by contracting your glute. Yeah? And control down. And other side, contract and lift it up. So you should only be able to lift it a small amount of actual movement before you start feeling it in your back. Do you feel that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so come on this side and now contract the glute to lift the leg only. Yep. And down. So did you feel that? Because it's interesting, because I can see that part of your back, and I can actually see when your back activated. Yeah. Yeah? So that's one thing that's really important. If you're feeling tension in your lower back when you're training, often that's what's happening. You're firing up your back, not just your glutes. So do this leg again, contract and lift. Yep. And other side, contract and lift. Good. And take this leg straight, so just pop on the floor. Yep, and so I want you to keep your hips very square when you're doing this. So it's really tempting and it's easy to let your hips go either way, and often you can't tell that they're doing it because it's just natural. But what I want you to do, so keep that leg there, and all I want you to do is contract this glute and lift that leg up off the floor. Good. And down. Good. And you can feel that if you went any higher than that, you couldn't have done that without messing up the structure. So you couldn't have kept that square, and you couldn't have kept it out of your back. Yeah? So just swap legs and do the other side. Good. Good. Now just to show us, take your leg higher. Take it too high so that you're using your back. Yeah. Exactly. You feel that? Yeah. It's like all in your back. Now I want you to contract this glute, contract it, squeeze it, and lift the upper leg up off the floor. So you're going to literally bend it and straighten it. So bend it and put it back on the floor. Yeah, and from there, so keep your upper leg. Yeah. So it's only a small movement. I mean, you could have taken it up to the ceiling, but you don't need to. But can you feel how much stabilization works on this side of your butt? Yeah? Yeah. And now let's swap sides to the other side. So contract on this side. Keep your glutes squeezed and lift up the leg. Good. And you can feel that this is actually quite difficult to do, and it's all here in your butt. Yeah. Yeah? You can feel that? Good.
I can tell too, because if I'm not focusing on it, I end up dipping. Yeah. So I have to, it forces me to.
Yeah, it does. And what I want you to do this time, we're going to do one that's going to focus more on your glute medius. It's called fire hydrant. You've probably seen it, and you're going to take your knee straight out to the side. Okay, but this time, what I want you to do, so start with this leg, and what I want you to do is focus on isolating your glute, focus on using the side of your butt to take your knee out to the side. Yes, you feel that right in the side of your butt? So you can actually feel, and if you were to actually do this, you know, with someone else, you could actually take turns at actually making sure you're really isolated. And can you feel how much works in this side as well? Yeah. Because what should be happening is that this side, the supporting side, is actually keeping you stable. So if you didn't use your right glute, you'd go like, whoop, yeah, like all over wonky and lopsided, yeah? So let's go again, take the knee out to the side. Good, and now let's come on the other side. So this side is your stable, and then you should feel all of the work in the side of your butt. Yeah? Good, all right, feel like your butt's awake? Yes. Ready to go? All right, so if you were watching that, I recently posted a band workout on my Instagram, and I said that they would be great glute isolation exercises that is what we've just done, some of those exercises. If you have a band, or even if you don't have a band, try running through some of those exercises, and I would do a post probably on my Instagram TV talking through why you should do this a little bit more, but I wanted to, while I had a model, while I had a butt model, very nice butt, actually show you guys what I mean. So, hopefully you found that helpful, and let's go and train, huh? Woo! Performing a W range sumo squat with a band. So her feet are wide, not too wide, because sometimes if you go too wide you end up awkwardly forcing the work into your quads rather than putting it mostly in your glutes. We've got the band on so that we create more of a glute medius recruitment rather than you know, if you take away the band you lose that dimension that requires you to really use your glute medius. So if you're looking to develop full round glutes, the band is a very good tool to use that glute medius. So with the W rep, she's coming all the way to the bottom, only halfway up to the top, all the way to the bottom again, and then right through to the top. So what she's doing is concentrating the work on the hardest part of the movement, which is way nice deep range every rep. So we moved to kickbacks, and Kyla has got her Sheena'S Fit ankle straps on, and she is starting off with a straight leg kickback any moment now. So you can see when she's doing this kickback, it's a very small movement and nothing else other than that leg is moving. She's keeping the leg straight. She is literally contracting her glute to take the leg out and then controlling on the way back in. What you have to watch when you're doing this one is that you don't end up twisting. So she's working really hard to keep her hips straight across rather than letting that leg lift up and the hip open out. So what you can see is the temptation when she takes her leg back, it's tempting for that hip to open out that way, but she's working really hard to keep it nice and still. So it's a small movement, only taking the leg as far back as you can take it before her lower back starts activating. So Kyla, just do one bad rep for me. Like, do one rep where you go too high and you're using your back. Yeah, so you can see if she's taking the leg way up high, do another bad rep. That was a good bad rep, good. So you can see she can't take her leg that high without it going into her back. So what we're doing here is the most isolated version of a kickback that we can do. Small movements, all in the glute. And what you want to do is you want to actually be using your supporting side to keep you stable. So you don't want to be holding on with your hands too tight, because you want to make sure that the straight leg that you're standing on is actually doing a lot of the work. We just did a very isolated kickback with a straight leg. We are now doing an isolated kickback which is an unfolding kickback, and the difference is that right now all of the work, primarily the work, is in her hamstring rather than her glutes. So what we do when we add that unfolding movement is that we put a lot more work in the hamstring here than what's in the glute. Still the glute is working, but we've changed the focus of the exercise. Now, Kyla has great glutes. She came to me with already great glutes. Now they're even greater. What we have done is we've developed her hamstrings quite a lot. You can see she's naturally pretty petite, She has a great set of glutes, and what we want to do is we want to actually add more curve through the back of her leg here, through her hamstrings. And you can see now that when she's doing that, she's actually standing very straight up and down, which means that it's only that muscle that is working. Why are you sweating? Woo! It's cold.
Dedication.
She is now doing a roundhouse kickback. This is the first time I've taught her these, and they are a very challenging exercise. She's taking the leg right back behind her, and this obviously looks like a roundhouse kick, which is why I call it a roundhouse kickback. I made it up, so I don't know if it has another name. The aim is that her knee stays in line with her hip and her foot stays in line with her knee on the way in, if that makes sense. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep a flat plane of movement from your foot to your knee to your hip, and you'll feel a lot of work in your glute medius as you do this. So this is a technically challenging exercise. It's really tough. You may have seen me do this in videos, and for me it probably looks relatively simple because I was a ballerina for years. That turnout for me is easy, but that turnout from the hip is actually a challenging thing to do if it's not familiar to you. So this is incredibly challenging, and she's feeling all of that work in her glute medius as she brings her knee in. She's trying to keep it up high without letting her body twist too much. So this is, she's actually got great form for, particularly for someone doing this exercise for the first time, because it's really tough to do it right. We are doing the glute push down right now on the assisted machine. Her back foot is on the back bottom step, front foot, obviously heel is on the platform. Her hips are square, and she's using her hands only to keep herself still, but not to, you know, she's not gripping on. So you want to make sure that your legs and glutes are doing all of the work. You want to go really heavy with this one, and the work is actually done, or the important part of the work is actually done on the way back up to the top. So when she comes up slowly, this is where all of the control is happening, all the way to the top. So we have moved on to the abductor machine, and what Kyla's doing now is a pause rep. So she's coming out and she's holding for 2 seconds at the widest part, and then controlling on the way back in. So hold, squeeze, and control back. Good. So obviously when you're doing that isometric hold at the widest part, what you're doing is you're really firing up your glute medius, and it's obviously that's the hardest part of the movement, so to pause and hold there is incredibly challenging. Doing a different variation right now. We are now elevated out of the seat.
You give me one last thread.
She's dying. So we've done a different variation with your butt elevated out of the seat. We are still pausing and holding at the widest part. So it is essentially we're doing the same kind of rep. So a pause rep out wide, and it's tough. I'm watching her attempt at recovering right now. But we will video another set. So we're hitting the glutes from all different angles. Of course, the abductor machine is great for getting your glute medius, and the abductor machine is great because you can go pretty heavy with it. Alright, so she's ready. She's ready. what she's trying to do as she performs this is keep her butt at the same level. So it's tempting for your butt to go, you know, up and down and move with you as you're doing this. So we're trying to stay in the same spot and pause for 2 seconds at the widest part. So we're doing a couple of finishes right now. We are doing a reverse hyperextension with a band right now. So less range. Yeah, up and control down and lift up. Good. So I just want you to keep it a smaller range so that it's harder. Yeah. So what she's doing is contracting, lifting the heels up to the ceiling, letting the legs come down only a small amount so that it's still hard even at the bottom. So not coming the whole way down. If you let your knees come the whole way down, you end up resting midway through the rep, or midway through the set, sorry. So each rep we're keeping the tension on by lifting up and then controlling down and only coming down a small amount. Now if you want to feel this more in your glute medius, drive your knees out wider. Just do a couple with your knees wider. Feel more on the side of your butt now? Yeah? So heels together, but try and press your knees out into the band as much as you can the whole time. Hey guys, it is Saturday morning. I've woken up with a sore throat like I'm about to get sick, which is not ideal because the weather's not great. I am off to meet my client Alex and we're going to be filming some content. So I'm excited to film with her. It's my first time filming with her, so I will make sure that I give you all her details so that if anyone in the LA area is looking for someone to make dope videos for them, they can reach out to her. She makes quite a lot of videos for BSN supplements, so she's made some really cool stuff, so I'm excited to work with her. It's always good to work with you know, different videographers and different photographers because they all kind of see different things and have different creative talents. So I'm excited to create some new content. We're gonna do some stuff for Better Bodies. I was gonna film a voiceover for some stuff, and it turns out I am not gonna be doing any voiceovers for these videos because I sound like a dude right now. But hopefully it stays not raining. It's been raining kind of off and on this morning, but it's clear now, so we're gonna go on a little adventure around Venice and look for some cool graffiti, I think, for this first video. Got lots of exciting stuff coming up with Better Bodies. Very soon I'm gonna have my very own 50% sale for 24 hours only, so I have to get this video up ASAP. 50% off is insane, so I'm going to be posting a lot about that this coming week. Of course, it's coming out really soon. Anyway, I am almost at the gym to meet Alex, and then we're going to go on a little adventure to find some graffiti, so I will come back to you guys soon with some behind the scenes. This is Alex. Hello! And we are going to make some magic, so we will hopefully find somewhere to put you so you can see what's going on.